Welcome back to Fast Market, everyone. Kevin Hinks, Kevin Green, back for our cash tag segment. I'd like to bring in the co-founder of LikeFolio.com, Mr. Landon Swan, to the show. Landon, someone's doing better than you today. The United States just accepted the 747 from Qatar, so they've got another plane. You and I don't have another plane. By the way, I would have accepted it if they offered it to me. But we're talking about, I have a little correction, Zoom Communications is the right name for this company, not Zoom Video like it used to be. Landon, you've got some data for us on Zoom Communications. What do you got for us? You, of course, who doesn't own a 747.
Right, not yet, right. And maybe just give that plane a thorough inspection first, right?
Aspirational.
What's that?
Aspirational, not yet.
That's right, aspirational, exactly. So, I think the name clarification is actually kind of an important point because that's the direction that they're going, right? I would have called them Zoom Video too, by the way. It's not a knock on you, but the fact that they're trying to be more than just video, they're trying to be the, Microsoft Teams or the Slack, right? They're introducing in-app document editing. They've introduced an email client, calendar integrations, Google Drive access. So they're trying to create this product, and they really should be, where you can use it for everything. It's your productivity suite for your business. And, I think they were the right place at the right time for the lockdowns, and everyone jumped on board. They had a great intro offer that got you started basically for free. And then, 20 minutes into a call, you had to choose if you wanted to pay or not. So they did a great job taking advantage of the situation. And now they find themselves up against Microsoft and Slack, and, they've got to increase the offerings that they have, and they're trying to do that. So right now, they're on their way. We're seeing that they're making the right moves. I mean, Amazon adopted them as their in-office use case for meetings. So that's a really strong feather in your cap. But some of their new products, like their AI product, has fairly low adoption. I think it's $12 a month. They've got it up to maybe 1.2 million users out of 300 million daily active users. So still a long way to go. But they are the sort of leader when it comes to this space, even though they've got to catch up to the offerings that Teams and Slack provide. And when we look at how they're comparing just on a web visits basis, they're actually kind of falling behind a little bit. So they're dropping about 6 points on a year-over-year basis. Slack's up 7, and then Microsoft Teams is up about 12 points on a year-over-year basis for that web usage or web visits. And obviously that is interest in usage of the product. And so they're on the wrong side of this. I think that, I think they've got a little bit of a branding problem in that, like, even a pro like you is going to call them Zoom Video. I would too. That's what you think of. It's just a video tool. If you have to have a meeting, you use that, right? So to rebrand and to bring in all these tools is the right move, but I think a lot of people are going to be hesitant to think, yeah, let's just use Zoom for all of our meetings and the whiteboard and the document editing, and then we don't need anything else, when really the productivity is going to be done by Teams and Slack. And so that's the challenge for them right now. You can see that their web traffic over time has been, lower highs, lower lows. It's in the wrong direction, basically. And so that's obviously a little bit concerning. So I think that they've had a lot of success through individuals and smaller teams, not so much with a younger generation and the larger companies, although, again, Amazon is a big one. So we'll see how they do. I know that, when you look at some of their earnings history and the stock and how it trades, this is a fun one, right? If you're on the right side, this one can be very volatile on earnings. So obviously you got to be risk defined. I know you guys always preach that. So that check the box there, guys, if you're trading it. But yeah, this is a company that kind of sold off with everything else on the tariff. It's bounced back. It's up to 83 again. Decently up over the year, but they've got a tough challenge ahead of them in this rebranding / changing their offerings so that they can get retention through usage as opposed to retention through just the contracts that are in place. Because once those contracts are done, if another product is better, people will switch. So they're trying to play catch up and make sure that their offerings are on par.
Landon, do you think the freemium type of model that Zoom Communications implements is potentially a hindrance to them when it comes to top line growth? Kind of similar to Adobe. You use it enough that you probably don't have to pay for the actual services or some of these additional tools because there might be some comparable tools available in the market somewhere else. Do you think that's a problem? Would you like to see them shift that model to more being, more focused on paying to have access to any of their platforms or their products or services?
I kind of like the freemium model in that it gets your foot in the door. And to be honest, when you look at, the revenue side of things, they need big contracts, and they need as many people trying it out as possible. And the only way that a big contract is going to happen is through high usage. So they're going to get out of that freemium model extremely quickly anyway. I don't think it's hurting them on that side of things. And then for the really small teams with the individual use case, I don't see it being a huge revenue driver if they did drop that. It would, they could prove me wrong if they did, but I just see it as, a good way to get people foot in the door. But maybe the freemium side of it should be a little bit more restricted. Just try it out for a little while, and then you're in more of a trial rather than use it as much as you want for free until a certain point. So, I can go either way, but really I think it's the big clients that are going to make the difference here. And I don't think for that purpose, it really matters all that much.
Yeah, the competition they have, Landon, with Microsoft Teams, with Slack out of Salesforce, they can offer this tool within their suite of offerings, where Zoom is trying to become more than a one-trick pony, but it's difficult for them, right? They don't have the same suite of tools that these other companies have. So it's a tricky dynamic. It's, the competition is not going away, and your data shows that competition is doing pretty well against Zoom. But we got to let you go, Landon. Thank you so much for coming on. As always, spending some time with us, bringing the LikeFolio data to Fast Market. Have a great day, Landon.